and set the scene, as it were. I'm not feeling particularly uncouth this evening.
It's always helpful.
So, let's see.
Okay. Now I've got to find my characters.
Yeah, I was just recalling where we left off.
Yeah, I know exactly where we left off.
I just woke up. So I'm like,
But I think we're live.
In the twilight part of orange, then you see before you. And after a woefully unsatisfactory experience with landing, which left your patron unconscious and many of you injured, some more than others, you made the journey to the dissected plateau, which is known, at least by satellite photographs, to Ludmila as the campsite of the smugglers. As they traverse from their own landing site to where they meet with the Otari. They camp in a leeward kind of recess on the edge of the plateau, and you found where they have a water cache. They are taking a drip line from an aquifer that is inside of the plateau, and with that you were able to replenish your canteens from what was otherwise a pretty hot journey. It will perhaps be another 20 hours before this falls into sort of a deeper twilight that will effectively be what is night for this part of the world. And so now is sort of these long shadows of late evening, and they will go on for, of course, an unearthly long time, because this is not an earthly world. The heat is coming off the rocks, and the air is beginning to cool as you see their air raft spewing a plume of dust behind it as it heads for the dissected plateau. When we last spoke, we had determined that there was a successful ambush set with a recon roll. And so using the map that I have here, and just as some reference points, what sort of positions do y'all want to kind of assume for the ambush, knowing that this is probably where they will camp, and just with full information because of the level of success from the recon roll?
Well, I suppose it's up to our Marine Colonel to at least give us a heads up. I should think we would be lying prone on top of the rocks, right? So we can have a good, and spread out so we can have interlocking fields of fire. So I don't know.
So the red, purple, and pink areas is how I have it labeled. Of course, someone could be on top of one of the smaller freestanding little mesas, but that does get into a question of how would one get down, which may be actually difficult if one was to do it in a hurry. Having been to Utah, I can say this.
You can attest personally to this.
How high are these cliffs?
About 3 meters at this point.
All right, it's not too bad. All right.
And it looks like the two small ones just near the campsite are perhaps a bit shorter. Perhaps to the point that that very near one to the red area, one could reasonably leap to it from the red area, if one was in the prime of health.
How is the visibility from the pink region to the expected campsite? Because we found evidence of previous campfires and stuff, right? So we have a. How would the visibility? Because there's one of the rocks is there, so I don't.
It is adequate. Which is to say that the campsite itself can be spotted from the pink area, the east recessed area from where the tents and the campfire has been planted. Perhaps not where the air raft is pictured, however.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense to me, and I mean, James probably knows more about this, but it makes sense to me. 2 guys in red and 2 guys in purple, so we can have some interlocking without
Yep.
risking shooting at each other.
Exactly.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Provide a crossfire that isn't backfire.
I learned all I know from watching that scene in Ronin.
And Ronin, yes. Interlocking fire, yeah.
Yeah.
I just ambushed you with a coffee cup. Yeah.
Shooting each other. All right.
All right. So the point of going up and down is mainly through the red area, you said?
So I imagine that through the trench, which extends off the map to the left, there is a safe place to descend from both areas, pretty near, maybe only 6 meters away from the edge of map.
Okay. So I'll take one of
It's
the
feasible to maybe look for a spot to slide on one's butt down from either area onto the campsite, but it is dicey.
Okay. So I'll take one of the spots in the purple area. Lying prone on the ground with the rifle out and looking through the scope and stuff like that.
And there is some scrub, and there are loose stones atop the kind of the top of the plateau. There's the carpets of spores from the more humid parts of the planet provide something of a substrate for something like a licheny substance, but I think it might be digesting the accumulation of spores more than it's actually photosynthesizing.
Okay.
Which means it may have a certain smell to it.
That's it. We got filter masks on.
But that's what amounts to foliage as far as the cover.
Okay. And you saying loose stones, there's no boulder size objects up here.
There may be, yes.
Yeah. And I would suggest, since I think me and Javier are not shots, not trained.
No, Javier can handle his own.
Oh, yes, you can.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the only one who's the odd man out here.
So maybe you should be with me, because I think it's easier to get on top of the red rocks than the purple rocks. So
yeah, and it's maybe a distraction or a boulder.
We'll let the Marines do the hand-to-hand. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, hopefully, it won't come to that.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Yeah, the idea is that we don't want to use that.
Yeah.
So Roy says, I'm gonna toss a stun grenade at our target. You guys take the rest of you just take the rest of them down, and then we try and take our target down without killing him.
Okay.
So the grid is 2 meters.
Oh, so this is really close.
Oh, okay. Oh, the whole grid is 2 meters? No.
No, like each
square is 2 meters. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once you have confirmed the presence of the target among them, this is their positions, as we see in the map. Let's say about that. So that's what. Are there comm links? Is everyone comm linked? That's the next question that we should probably establish.
I have a mobile comm, but not a comm link per se. I don't know if this applies. It might
I
not.
can't remember.
Well,
Because the
a
comm is
mobile
like the cell
comlink
phone.
I imagine to be something like a cellular phone,
Okay.
which is to say that
With an earpiece.
yeah,
Okay.
I think that it stands to reason that you probably all have an earpiece until you lose it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we've discussed this plan beforehand because we've been here for hours, so we pretty much understand that the idea is to wait for the colonel to chuck a grenade at the target to stun him, and then for us to get the other guys. Now there's 4 guys I see on this graphic.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is our high value target?
The mark is in the middle, and it's offloading a crate which probably has the shelter that they're going to construct along with their cookfire/campfire lamp.
Okay.
And so he's in the middle of lifting those 2 items, which are somewhat heavy, out of the back.
Okay. So he's the
They
guy in the center of the 3 that are sort of like diagonal.
and you
Cool.
witness that the green one is in the process of leaving to do a perimeter search. And then the one headed towards the left edge of the map is carrying 2 jugs of water, 2 empty jugs headed for the water cache.
Oh, through that. Is he going down through that?
He's
that
going down
valley?
the slot. He will almost certainly go down the slot.
Yeah,
He is
so
he has a headlamp turned on his respirator.
Okay.
Nice.
And he only has like the water cans, so he doesn't have a weapon in hand. The other guys do
He has
have.
an AR over his back.
Okay.
And the mark is not armed right now. I don't know. I like, unless y'all have like binoculars or like good kind of vision assistance. I'm only going to discuss whether they're carrying long arms.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, I mean, are they like, holding the guns, or are they just like relaxed getting the stuff out of there? Because we're assuming they all have long arms of some sort.
Only the green fellow who is about to begin the perimeter search is in an active tactical posture.
Okay, excellent.
What if we can stealthily take out the one with the jugs as soon as he gets out of sight?
I was gonna say that's probably gonna be the easier one for you guys once he's down in that neck.
Yeah.
To put one, up his spine, and then the guy doing perimeter should be easy enough to pick off. The question is, do we want to wait until he's around the bend before we take care of him?
Well, this conversation, in the time that it takes the conversation to elapse, he's moved into the second gray area.
Okay.
Okay, so are we rolling initiative or?
When somebody does something to make a move, absolutely.
Okay.
So he's moved into that north, in that northerly gray area.
Mm-hmm.
And it will take a stealth roll to actually realign one's kind of long arm to be able to attack him at this point. For people in the red area, it'll take a reposition. If you don't want to just blow it and start shooting. But he's kind of out of field of fire. He is about to pass out of field of fire. If someone wants to just shoot him, I should provide that opportunity.
Okay.
All right, guys, what should we do?
I think we should go with the plan. Throw the grenade, and you guys can start by shooting that one. You're gonna have to shoot at all of them. And
Go for it.
there's grenades probably not gonna take him out in one.
All right, so let's begin with initiative. You can choose a Dex or Int check.
All right.
Dex it is.
For your initiative roll.
There's also the fact that if this is an ambush, you add +6 to your DM to your initiative modifier.
And they get a -6.
You add a positive. They have a negative.
That's what I mean. It's a 12
Yeah.
point swing.
Oh wow. Okay.
And you are looking for an actual absolute kind of score as far as just as you would in something like that other game.
Okay. So we're rolling 2 on this.
Yes.
You
As
are.
always. Wow.
Plus
I feel like
dexterity
this-
or intelligence, whichever is better for you,
Right.
plus 6.
Plus 6.
Yeah.
I'll be damned. All right. I've got a 9.
I have a 16.
Got a 12.
I've got an 8.
Okay. I'm gonna go through the characters.
Oh, well, I didn't add the plus 6.
Oh, then you got 14.
Okay, yeah.
I did.
Well, just give me your raw scores for now, and I'll sort out the
Alright.
plus 6s and minus 6s for now.
Gotcha.
Oh, well, in that case, it's 10. Yeah.
Roy,
6.
6. Javier is 10,
Yes.
Of 8. Sam.
and
And Jim has Dell's deleterious dice tonight.
Of Doom.
Maynard
3.
3.
And dismemberment.
And dismemberment. Yeah.
All right. And Samuel has
8.
8. Okay. So y'all can sort it out among you. I think we can probably just go for the grenade throw. Like the plan is coordinated enough and the rolls have been made. I think that given the coordination, I think that it is probably time. It's time to call for a leadership roll from Roy to see
All right.
if there are boons or if there are banes to go around.
Is this
Perfect.
only a Roy thing? As I have leadership at 1?
Yeah, you're like a negative.
I mean,
Total.
It is. I think that we can give him a boon.
So give a boon to Roy to roll the.
Yes.
Yeah. As
Okay.
your assistant.
Okay, there we
Good
go.
shot. Good call.
What happened there?
I think you blacked out.
Yeah. All right, Aboon. All right. I rolled 2 5s and a 3, so that's 13 total.
Against an 8.
No, wait.
that
Hang
is
on.
an
Hang on.
2
effective
5s is 10.
Hang on. If you got a boon, you drop the lowest dice.
Hey, time. I have a plus
Ah.
3, 2 leadership plus 1
Ah!
social.
Okay.
Don't question who's they on the rules.
Easy there, young man.
It's like,
That
wait a
little
minute. Yeah.
bird
Grasshopper.
affects the dice.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, so that's 10 plus 3, 13.
All right. So then I believe that there are effectively 5 boons to be used during the encounter, if I understand correctly.
Right. For the other guys, I don't think I can lead myself, so that would be kind of
Nice.
I concur. Okay. So let's go ahead with the grenade throw, which
it's
I'm
athletics
unfortunately
dexterity,
not
right?
yet familiar with what skill is to be called on there. I'm presuming it's
It's-
going to be.
It's athletics dexterity.
All right. There you have it.
And I have a 20-meter range.
Which is 10 squares, right?
Yeah.
That should be
So
fine.
let me see.
I think it's handily within range, and then you also have the vertical advantage,
Okay.
which I think. Do you have any vision gear?
Yeah, I have the combo IR.
Okay, then you can have a boon. Yeah, because I mean, I think with the height advantage, the only question is whether the shadows is playing any problems. So I think a boon is in order.
I'm glad because otherwise I would have just rolled a 5. But with the boon, I rolled a 9 plus 2, 11.
There we
9.
go.
Nice.
Okay. choose your spot.
All right, it would have been right in front of our target.
Okay.
'Cause, I mean, I got a blast 9, so he's got a 9-meter thing around him. So probably the other guys are. If it's they, I gotta check if it's radius or diameter. I think it's diameter.
But the guy to the north went north, right?
Right.
So,
Well, yeah,
That's right.
he
went
was in the
north.
process of slipping north. He's probably against
Yeah.
that kind of tree-like thing. He's probably at about that point.
Yeah.
So if we count,
if
yeah.
it's diameter, wide area, successful attack within the blast square meters. Yeah. So he's probably out of it because it's 9 meters total.
mhm.
And if it's, yeah, he's out of it. So it's probably the guy to the south might get affected.
Okay.
So it's 3d6 stun, which means that if his endurance gets to 0 by
Correct.
stun damage, he can't act for a number of rounds equals to whatever it exceeds his endurance by.
All right.
Right. But
Yes.
armor applies. It is noted.
Yeah, armor does apply. This is
Yeah.
a concussion. It's not a.
Mhm.
Okay, total 10. So
Oh wow, nice.
minus his armor. And the other guy, obviously.
Okay. Let's check my. And it is my understanding that if you have an armor value, it just deducts.
Correct.
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 Okay.
From the
And
damage.
what is the value of cloth armor? Just
It is.
There's a 5 and
two
an 8.
flavors,
Depends
and
on
a
the
5 and an 8.
TL.
Yeah.
Yeah, depends
Okay.
on the TL.
8 is the higher TL, and so maybe he has that one. Yeah.
The mark. Okay. With 10 damage to the mark, it is not quite unconscious, but I think. Oh, but do you add the effect from
Yes.
your
Oh,
grenade throw?
Yes.
okay.
I don't see a
So,
reason why you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
so that's 3, right? I got
Mhm.
3. So that's 13.
Ooh, nice.
That is in fact enough. That you get a stun effect. So he falls backward onto the air raft and appears concussed. The fellow next to him, go ahead and throw dice for that one. Actually,
Oh, okay. All right. This is 4, 4, 2, 10 plus 3, 13.
likewise, he is also concussed.
Combat is lethal.
Yeah.
So the other two guys are surprised. And you know the rest of you guys are free to act still. Javier and Maynard or Samuel.
Who goes next?
So
By initiative?
basically,
Yeah.
Roy would throw the grenade, and the moment it goes, hit him hard. So to give boons, I guess.
Nice.
Very
Nice.
inspiring.
Thank you. Who goes first?
So
Me?
you guys.
Amy.
It ain't you. I think it's me. So I am taking aim for one minor action
Mhm.
at the guy who's on patrol, right? The one with the readied weapon walking to the north,
Mhm.
who's farthest away from me.
You
So,
recognize he's carrying an ACR.
ooh. So I have one too, and I have it flipped to full auto.
Nice.
And I have my IR goggles just in case. He is at short range for my rifle, so that gives me an extra +1. So let's see. That would be 3D +3 is my base. Yeah, I think that's it. 3D +3. So here we go. All right, so drop a 2. And 3 and 5 is 8 +3 is 11. So that's an
Effective 3.
effect of 3. And now we roll damage. And that's for the first bullet. I need to roll a couple of bullets for this guy. So the first bullet hits him for 12 +3, 15 damage.
Okay.
Second bullet is an 11 plus 3 to hit is 14, minus 8 is an effective 6, which is not good for him. And it's a damage of 12 plus 6 is 18 points of damage.
Okay.
And I guess the third bullet, which will probably hit his corpse.
What's left of it?
Actually,
Well, it depends on what he's wearing armor.
It hits an 8 exactly, so no effect. It's a 0
Yeah,
effect.
because
but
the advanced combat rifle has like an AP of. Oh no, it doesn't have
no
AP.
AP, no AP. Just I'm doing full auto is what I'm doing. So the last bullet just does 8 points of damage, and I hope he's dead.
Yeah, that much. There should be some deadening.
Okay. What was the last? Sorry, what was the last damage value?
The very last one was 8.
Okay. He is unconscious. I mean, he falls prone. That's all I can tell you from this.
He's down and bleeding.
Yeah.
Right. That's all we know.
Continue with the
Mayhem. So I think Dell is next. No, wait.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well,
is
I had
it
an 8.
Dell
I don't
and
know
then-
what.
Yeah, I rolled 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You're just the first guy in the next round, man.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
like it basically had that ancient what I say M16 with the 3D printed
Mhm.
stock.
Nice.
Anyway, it's 3D6. I mean 3D.
First you roll to hit. Yeah. Plus your 2 dice plus 2 to hit. If it's in short range, which is a quarter of the weapon's range, you get a +1 modifier to it.
But that weapon range is 25 meters and it's 18. So basically I'm at the extent of the weapon. And then I get it on what is that weapon's full auto as well.
Nice.
So it's just gonna be suppressive fire coming from me. Spasmically, one clip, one kill.
This is the antique rifle that you're using?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully don't jam up. So, and he's never killed anybody. This is actually the first time he's ever used it.
And
who are you shooting at again? At the guy with the water?
I think that we
Let me do that.
That is the last mark. Yeah, is the water boy here.
Water boy. Okay, that's 10, and you said I get 1 DM for the advantage and what +3 for the.
And he gets a boon, doesn't he?
Unless Javier used all the boons.
I just used 1.
Okay, there you have it.
Okay, well that didn't help. The other dice I roll was a 1 anyway, so it's still 10 and 3, right? +3 for the clear terrain or what?
That would be 13 to hit. So -8, which is the standard number, that would be a 5 to your effect. So now you roll 3d -3 for damage.
Well, my question was, the difference is I get 3 for clear terrain and then 1 for the height advantage. Is that it?
No.
Yeah, we haven't done any.
No, we haven't done any terrain advantage. You get if you aim before you shoot, you get a +1 modifier.
If you use your minor action to aim.
I want to use my minor action before I.
And then your dexterity modifier goes to your. It also applies to your roll.
Yeah, which is not good.
Which is not good. Yeah. So
that's -1. So it's just gonna
plus your skill. Plus your skill on the gun combat.
I ain't got no skill.
You do not have the skill, so it's a -3 on top of everything because you do not have the skill.
Exactly.
Oh my god!
No, it's -4. Suppressive fire is all you're going to get out of me. -4 plus 1. Gee whiz,
Yay, math.
Yeah.
So a few
Yeah.
rounds land near the water boy, throwing up some clouds of spores that have accumulated there in the hollow. He dives for cover, dropping the two
Water
canisters,
bottles. Yeah.
and as that inflicts another further -2. So what is the final effect actually?
I know it's going to probably be negative.
Yeah, that's important because it's highly negative. It's really bad for us. So
Yeah, no. So I rolled a 10, negative
-3
minus
right?
3 is 7,
is 7.
negative,
So that's
and he
it's a
died for
negative
cover,
one.
-2 on top of that. So.
No, but you shot him first, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't dive for cover until after you shot him.
Oh, okay.
Shot at him.
Yeah.
Isn't that correct, Antoine? Oh no, wait. That's his reaction.
I think it's his reaction. I think
That is
Yeah,
his reaction.
it's
I'm
a great
sorry.
reaction,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
So that is then a 5 total.
However,
Yeah, 5.
you can only dive for cover if there's suitable cover within 1.5 meters of your current position.
Correct.
Well, you can go prone.
But it does look like that is available. You automatically become prone when you do the dive.
Yeah. So it's
I will just call the effect as he has a good idea where he's being shot from.
okay.
And so he's actually aware and trying to evade the fire, as opposed to just kind of wildly diving for cover. Finally, Maynard.
Okay, so I was over on the red rock. If these these two were on the purple rock, I think I'm gonna use my minor action. And I'm gonna take aim at the guy that was going on patrol.
Okay, he is down and
Oh, is that the guy that Aloy was after?
Yeah, Aloy laid into him, and he is
okay. And our guard next to our target is down.
He's effectively stunned. He was blasted away by the concussion and is prone on the ground.
So it's just Water Boy.
Okay, then I'll go to the other. I'll be on the other side of the rock and take aim at Water Boy. Would his cover be revealing to me if he is running away from fire from the other side?
It's only going to be a DM -1.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and use my mana action to take aim with my scope.
Okay.
Okay, and then
his attention's on me.
And then I'm going to use the boon.
What weapon are you using, Jim?
I am using my advanced combat rifle.
Nice. So you get a +1 for short range.
Okay. Fucking A.
So, you want me to roll for you?
Okay, so I don't have a dex bonus. I get +1 for short range.
Yes.
I get +1 for my gun combat skill.
Yes.
So that puts us at 6.
Okay.
Good God.
With a boon.
You rolled a boon. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
With a boon.
So there's some bullets land on the rocks.
What about the aim? Did the aim help?
Aim gives a +1.
Okay, so 7.
Okay. Roll an extra die for damage and take the worst dice from among the damage.
Okay. Okay, so rolling 4.
Yes.
Okay.
You're kind of just hitting him with rock spray.
Okay, and I'm removing the worst, so 13.
You're taking out the best die. Yeah.
Oh, the best die.
Because I'm giving you a miss by 1 hit.
Okay. 8, 9. Yeah. Because I don't think I have any other bonuses there.
All right. He's visibly marked up by the rock spray, but is kicking. He is prone, however, from his dive for cover.
So he don't get to react, does he?
Well, he does get a turn on the first round. Yeah.
He's still able to react. He just gets worse and worse. Whatever he's going to do next round. He already had 1 reaction, so subsequent reactions, you accumulate negative penalties the
Yeah.
more you react for your next action.
So he's just going to take off down into the slot canyon.
You just got bolt.
And yeah, he's bolting. And so he passes out a line of sight for everybody, but you're very familiar with the area, and you know exactly where he is.
Okay.
As your initiative rolls back around. First is Javier on the following round.
So he's going toward the place where he can actually climb up. Is that correct?
Hey, I couldn't tell you he's out of line of sight. He ran. He could climb up.
He's running
possibly.
along the canyon, which theoretically leads up here. So
yeah, there are some small ledges, and you can kind of stair climb in the slot canyon.
Okay. So let's check a movement, how that works. Movement is a minor action. So, but first I have to get up. I would have one minor action to get up from my prone position. One movement action to get to the ledge, right? And one minor action to drop prone again and try to scan for him, see if I see him. Right? Because I'm moving toward the lip of the canyon, so to where I can look down and
try and reacquire.
Yeah.
Okay. It's recon. It shouldn't be hard though. It's easy recon.
I don't have recon. I have. Yeah, there's no perception here, so it's recon. Okay, so it's at -3, but it's modified by my intellect, I suppose, which doesn't help. So it's just plain die at -3.
Yeah, target number 6.
Yeah, well, a total of 2 is not going to do it. So that is a -4. Okay, so I don't, I get there, but I'm looking at it.
You hear him moving through the slot canyon, and he probably has
2 boons left.
Down a different pathway.
2 boons left.
You want me to take a boon to reacquire that? No, let's not. Let's
okay.
not.
All right.
Let's not waste it. Let's keep it for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Samuel is next in the initiative order. So you hear Javier get up, and you see Javier clamoring around on the top of the mesa, kind of trying to reacquire the water boy as he flees.
I'll do similarly. And run over there and drop. The same fashion.
Okay. The target number. I mean, you can make sense of where Javier has already looked. And so the recon rolls, it's only target number 4 now.
All right. I won't use a boon on this, right? So try to get it. But I get a negative
-3 if you don't have the skill.
Yeah, -3. So I could break even because 7. 8 is what I rolled.
Yes.
So just got it.
Okay. You can see him, and he hears you above, and he throws up his hands.
Nice.
Okay.
Excellent.
He's over here. Look at him. Oh, I got the gun.
Nice.
The useless gun just pointed in his direction.
But he doesn't know that.
No, he doesn't know it.
He doesn't know that it's the guy who can't shoot. That
I know. I was up on there just
that's
going,
right. Yeah.
Well, you wounded him, actually.
Good job. Yeah.
Well,
So
I
let's
actually
consider
needed it,
ourselves. Oh. Well, let's consider ourselves done with combat. That's all I was going to say.
Excellent.
Outstanding.
Nice.
All right.
So this is where Roy should light a cigar and say, "I love it when it comes together with the spores.
That's right.
With the spores, it's not a good idea." So.
Yeah, no.
Okay, we need to. Yeah, somebody needs to come down there and help me.
We need to secure the.
Yeah, let's restrain our target.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as well as the guys that are
that
check
are wounded. Yeah.
check the ones on the ground. Yeah.
So you guys split up. I take it, and some of you go to the air raft, and some of you go to secure the prisoner.
Yeah, I'm going to secure it. Since he's looking at me and I got the gun training.
And the other stunned one also has to be.
Yeah, I'll go check.
Yeah, I
I'll
was
go
gonna
check
say,
the one I shot. Yeah, just to make sure what's going on with him.
So
Kicking.
Roy suggests. Let me see. I want to make sure that I don't have my Alzheimer's. So he says, Shogun, you keep Overwatch.
Nice.
X-Boat, Jackhammer, and I will restrain the other ones.
Nice.
Good copy, sir.
What was your call sign? We forgot about your call sign.
Call me Snake.
Call me Snake. That's right. That's right.
All right. So I think we can probably do a brief snap cut to you all have reassembled, kind of having gained confidence that there's not another vehicle coming, and the prisoners are secure. Is first aid attempted on the on the guy who shot?
Well, we'll track him if he's alive. I'll at least try to stabilize him.
Oh, kind of.
Ish.
All right.
Really?
Alive-ish.
All right.
Yeah. Like,
So,
He's in the needs surgery category.
Oh, he's
Doc.
well,
not
I mean,
done.
I have a 2d6 plus 2, so for all I know, well, these are all assets for spies, right? Spies like prisoners. So
Yeah.
let me say that in character. Those intel people like living targets. Yikes, 7. So -1.
Okay. So in that case, yeah, then he's beyond help.
Yeah.
All right.
We
All
will,
right.
of course,
Glad you didn't try to
liberate
heal me.
all the armor and weapons.
Loot Golaine.
Old school, man. We're stealing everything.
Okay. Well, Javier,
Space
the
murder
fellow that you
hobos.
shot had an ACR. They all had snub pistols.
Oh, nice. I'll take one. Yeah.
And everybody had assault rifles. Besides the
So
point.
3 ARs, 1 ACR, and
4
4
snub
snub pistols. So whoever needs a pistol, grab one.
I got one.
Probably Sam should take the ACR, and we'll take the ARs to the ship.
Yeah.
It's always good to have spares and any spare pistols.
How does the snub? What's the damage on the snub?
3D minus.
3.
3D
3D
minus 3?
minus
Okay,
3,
well, I want
yes.
that more than I want my auto pistol.
Yeah, the snub pistols is 3D minus 3 with a range of 5 meters. It's like a
Oh.
pocket pistol.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's 0G. It's the
And you can use it in 0G. That's right.
It's the
Then I need that.
bonus there.
Yeah.
All right, Sam's climbing up into the their little air raft. Check it out. See if it's damaged and still mobile.
It's in good shape.
Well done, Colonel.
Has seen heavy use, and you can tell that it is almost certainly of Sword World's manufacture. As far as like a lot of the stuff is just engineered differently, and you don't see any kind of parts that you would recognize from Imperial mega corporations for the most part. And the controls are a little bit different. It's a 2-yoke control, but it
Okay.
looks like it'll fly. Very minimal avionics on it, and they have a separate GPS that's on the dash.
I can maybe try. And while like Javier, there's that. I'm wondering about their ship.
Now, is
Just
this
for the
like
sun.
is this like the vehicle we have? Is that what we have too?
I think this is better because this one is the.
This is a proper air raft with a
Yeah.
microfusion generator.
And what do we have?
You have a,
converted air car.
a
We
air
are so
breathing,
stealing this.
air breathing
Yeah.
ethanol grab car.
This is
Oh,
stolen.
yeah.
This is our air car now.
He said
It's
pretty
our
full
air
pirate.
Commandeered. If there is
Now, I
anything
wanna
I
go
learned
back and
from the
take the
Marine
ship.
Corps, it is commandeered.
Let's get the lingo, correct. Let's get.
Now,
Now,
guys,
the
I
thing I
think we
will
should
say
go
is
back and
that
get their
it entirely lacks avionics. So that business that Maynard and Samuel did on the Ice Moon, where you came down from orbit without any sweat on your brow, this thing, it can, it will be, it will take an astrogator to actually seed this into a proper orbit, like if you wanted to take off in it.
Okay.
Yeah, like we
No, but-
originally did.
We can
And
still
of
use
course,
it.
and of course I forgot to say that Roy would obviously, when everybody was safe, he'd say, "Good job, everybody."
Okay.
Actually, the team.
Yeah.
Uh,
Should we go back to the ship, or I'd like to retrace and see where they came from.
well, we
We know
got
their landing spot. We know their landing spot. But I think we need to finish our mission first, and then once the target's secure in the ship, then we can, if we want, we can check on their ship.
So now Ludmila gave you 2 doses of slow, Colonel,
Mhm.
or fast. Pardon, the powerful sedative.
Okay.
And so, which among the prisoners do you dose with that?
Oh, the target.
Okay.
Yeah, the target.
The other two
So
get my ACR dose. The butt of it.
All right.
Okay.
manual.
Yeah. A manual sedative.
Sedative.
Okay. So they're judiciously clubbed into unconsciousness, both the water buy and the bodyguard that was with Mark.
Yeah, Samuel sees that and winces and puts up a blind eye to it.
I say.
And another very important buy from the equipment book are rolls of duct tape.
We must
I bought
acquire
2
duct
for 5 credits each.
I
So
love how
Nice.
duct tape is still a thing in the future.
Yeah.
in the far future.
And this is, I saw a thread today. This is supposed to be like the year 6,419 or something like that, or 519.
So the way that I put it in my videos is that this is as far into humanity's future as the Pharaoh and when the Pharaoh fought the Hittites.
So it's way.
So like we're as far removed from that as Traveler is from us, which is to say, it's not beyond memory, but it is remote.
But it's duct tape, man.
Shogun, Snake, we got to decide how to proceed next. We've got the target, but there's still their ship now.
Well, we need to
Perhaps-
check on
Ludmilla.
Ludmilla,
we
need
gotta
to-
get back to Broomhilda.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, we don't know how long we have until these guys are, reported missing or something. It might be a while, because if they just got off their ship and landed here, they're probably expected to spend the night, probably expected to go interact with the rest of the Otari.
They had
Because-
one more deal. They had one more day of travel, and
Mm-hmm.
we don't know if they were heading straight to the Otari or to their supply camp. So
Hmm,
we have some time.
okay.
And then
Okay.
she can tell us if she wants us to take the ship or if she just wants us to get the hell out of Dodge with this guy.
Good.
Yep.
Good. Okay.
See,
Yeah,
Sure,
we left her in a
really
pretty
easy
bad
being-
state anyway.
It is really easy following orders, guys.
Okay.
I'm telling
Do you take 2 vehicles back, or do you
I
what
think we
happens to
should.
the other one?
Yeah.
I don't
Probably
think I
should
want to
just,
leave
At the
evidence.
very least, just
Especially if we need to split up for some reason, if we determine
Ooh,
that.
and we should maybe discard of the unsavable. Maybe bury, disguise, cover.
Well,
Just in case, just so nothing draws attention.
clean up the camp a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
bring
like
their
a good idea.
crates aboard, take them with us.
Mm-hmm.
their water.
Water and maybe they have a tent or a habitat that.
Yeah, they were about to put up a tent. Is what
Yeah,
he
they
was getting
they,
at.
they do have a positive pressure structure
Outstanding.
Which would be
that
nice
they were
considering the
yeah,
We got some
landing
survival
we
gear.
Yeah, no, this is all super important
Yeah.
All right.
in this
So,
environment.
I can give a full accounting of the gear that was inside of the raft at another time.
Right.
And in any case, it would take a survival roll to take a quick inventory of it anyway, in the hectic situation.
Yeah.
Right. We can do that back in the ship.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's
Um,
haul it.
I'll
Okay.
drive the grav car unless anybody is more skilled. I got a 1.
You got a 1 on the grab car. Yeah, I know.
Yep, that's all
I've
you
got
This
a
is
3
flyer.
decks.
This is flyer, right?
This
is.
is flyer, and you can specify grav vehicles, and I
Yeah,
did,
right.
so I'll
Yeah.
drive the air raft.
Yeah, well, I got nothing. I got drive. So,
Okay.
Pilot wouldn't.
Is there any desire to pilot it? Pilot is is spacecraft
Yeah.
of some kind or another. Is there any desire to go to altitude, or are you just going to fly it in a hover mode?
I think we should keep it in hover mode because
Keep low.
it's better to keep a low profile. We might show up on their sensors or something. I'd rather not risk it. Yeah.
All right. It is night, and the vehicle has very minimal avionics.
Mm.
And it does not seem to have collision detection.
wow, nice.
So you drive like it is like a car of the of 10 years ago of our time, as far as like there is a throttle, there's a brake, and then there's the flight stick.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Um,
whoever's got a fairly good dex, I guess, could pilot it.
and it is starting to get dark. So the only thing is just to see if there's any event, Javier. It's just a routine for
For
just for the
piloting
drive.
check. Okay. Grav is +1, dexterity is +0, so it's just a simple +1, and that is a 7 + 1 is 8.
Okay.
So on the nose.
Okay.
Well done.
Well,
No, it was a 4. It was a 4.
yeah,
You
it's
did
target
good.
number 4.
So
Yeah.
easy.
Suffice to say, I
Madness.
mean, you get some awareness that some of the larger fauna, some of the megafauna, would be coming out and are coming out.
Okay.
And so you get wary that you want to avoid hitting any
Okay.
Space
how
deer.
you say yes.
Yeah. I do have IR goggles, but I suppose like the headlights would mess that up. So
Yeah.
Well,
No,
I mean, I think
IR
that
would they?
maybe the concern with that might just be that it is nightfall. It's kind of at the cusp of nightfall, and so the ground is changing thermally pretty readily. So there might be some glare. I would say if
Okay.
one used IR goggles at this time of day.
Okay.
In any case, you find yourself back at the ship.
Excellent.
And now I will roll a die to see if Ludmila has improved at all.
Is she
your absence.
alive?
She is, as a matter of
Yes.
fact. And and you come into the sound of it appears that there's she or her computer managed to make some sort of there's one of the last strips of beef jerky and some rice porridge have kind of combined into a really, it's a thing that I had at a Japanese restaurant once and I didn't enjoy. Um, but it's a porridge, suffice it to say, and she's kind of actually managing to feebly hold the spoon herself
Yeah.
as you come in, and the computer is kind of chirping and trying to get her attention as it's detected the motion of your approach outside. Gentlemen, is that you? And she calls down
Yes.
the boarding ramp.
Food?
Or I
Ludmilla.
suppose the ship is canted. It's still canted almost 60 degrees from normal deck position.
Food? Is that you?
Is I?
Good addition
Good to
the
see you up,
family, right?
ma'am.
I survive, although it's very hard to rest as the ship is in its present state.
Yeah,
Did
unfortunately, we had
something go wrong with the landing?
Yes, unfortunately, it did.
Yeah, my computer has captured some footage of the incident. It's very
ground seems
unfortunate.
That's a hell of a steady cam on that. On that
ground seems
computer.
to have not held
It's
up.
absolutely not. She plays it, and it's the computer. It's just like a dash cam picture of a car accident.
The landing didn't go so smooth. I'm afraid I was the cause of that.
On the contrary, I mean, I'm certain that you were the one at the controls, but I saw with my own eyes the plume of dust. And there were only so many choices when we were approaching. I wouldn't hold yourself too accountable, Samuel. I mean, I think the question is, how is the ship going to take off again?
That's the big concern. Yeah.
Yes, we
There is that.
we do have that to contend with, but we do have news. First of all, it's good to see you are doing well, or at
Well,
least
And
are not
cooking.
unconscious.
not well enough to take the place of the mark, unfortunately.
Speaking of the mark,
we have some good news. Yeah.
Oh, you have him.
We have him and two of his companions.
Okay.
The fourth man didn't survive.
I see.
But we buried him up real good. Don't worry.
All right. Well, she types something on into her computer. It hovers away under its own accord, pushed on by a little drone motor, and disappears into her cabin. We'll make sure to keep them sedated. I don't think I'm going to be able to take the place of the mark. Much less am I really in a position to interrogate any of them to any effect in the near term.
what would be your recommendations?
I mean,
If you
I wish
need
to get them to
a moment, I
Flammarion,
understand.
frankly, and get them debriefed.
I think that's probably best. Yeah, we should try and take off as soon as we can. If our plan is to just get away, we should try to take off as soon as possible. If
I can
we
have
do
my
so,
cargo that we jettisoned. I can have it try and hit their ship.
That's my concern. I mean, if we leave fast enough, they may not realize that we have interacted with their own crew, right?
But Javier,
what trace did you leave at the ambush?
9.
What?
We tried to cover up as best we could.
But Ludmilla, if we can
it's
commandeer their
I'm
vessel.
sure there were shell casings, but okay.
Well,
if we can commandeer the vessel and take it back, its computer could hold vast amount of information. It would be
We don't
beneficial.
have 2 pilots.
No, I thought.
We only have one. Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking you took.
No, I'm working on it. I'm trying to learn it.
Okay.
I mean, in any case, we don't know how many more of them there are.
That's another concern.
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask her.
And it should be noted that their ship, the ship does carry a shuttle, and so it may be on Overwatch, the shuttle.
Oh,
on orbit.
so it's even more dangerous.
That would suck.
So I have an idea for how we can maybe get the ship straightened out so that we can take off quickly.
Please.
Yes.
I'm thinking that perhaps we could
Tow
modify
the air rafts.
the anti-grav plates on the ship. I don't know if there's like a standard anti-grav on to thrust the ship itself, right? I don't know if it runs on thrust,
So
anti-gravity in the planets.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Or I guess we could do the actual anti-gravity plates that the inertial compensators, and see if we can sort of manipulate those to function as contragravity is the only thing that's coming to mind.
So I mean, I had a look in the cockpit, and I mean, everything's in a safe mode because it's the stabilizers think that the ship is it's pinned.
But if possibly get some tow cables and use the air raft, the grav
I think
car.
that's the only way that I mean, unless one of you is very well, not very, but somewhat competent about hacking the grav plating, because that stuff is generally, I mean, you can turn it on and off, and you can the Marines called it grav pong. That's one of their favored boarding tactics is to play with it a bit. But there are, there's a number of safeties involved to keep, you don't want your own grav plating compromised.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how long would it take?
Yeah, if towing is an option, yeah, we could try that.
I see no reason why not. I mean,
okay.
Yeah. All right,
Excellent.
guys. Can we get a hand here? I look toward the other two. We need some tow cables and hook this up to, right in the ship, basically.
All right. As night is falling, and it's starting to get cold, and so there's a question of whether you have kind of adequate cold weather gear for whoever's in the air raft.
Of course,
the grav car is enclosed, right?
It might not be. I don't think. Well, the original grav car, the old one, did we bring that back with us?
Yeah,
okay.
Sure we did.
That's what I heard. Yes.
Okay, so I don't know if the grav car is rated enough to tow the ship. If it is, we might give it a shot. Otherwise, I suppose I could put on one of the vacuum suits, right, for the just to maintain.
I have the environment suit, which is rated against heat and cold. So.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's dropping temperature.
Okay. Well, if I can borrow that, I can drive whichever vehicle we're using to tow the thing. I can, because I'm good at grav vehicles, unless anybody else is
enough to know that poor entrepreneur's grav car from Walston does not have the torque.
Does not have the torque. Yeah, that's why towing didn't immediately come to mind. But if the air raft can handle it, I'm all for it.
It may be enough. But I mean, the engine will be working at kind of its maximum torque. And
there's got to be maneuvering thrusters on the ship, on the main ship. So perhaps, with an assist from Sam at the controls, right?
Exactly.
Trying to move the thrusters while I tow with the,
Exactly. That would
so
have
I think
to be.
That this amounts to something like average difficulty.
Yeah.
and it's the flyer roll. And
Okay.
there's a boon because Samuel will be in the cockpit trying to gain
To
control
help.
of the ship.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. So again, it's a flyer +1
Okay, we got the comms on too.
with a boon. So please,
And Ludmila's
Yeah.
kind of getting herself fastened.
Everybody get strapped in. Exactly.
yeah, everybody strap in before
We don't.
get this.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Question: Is at least one of the turrets undamaged?
One, no, the turret is actually inoperative. It tumbled.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
that's
tumbled.
right. We took
That's right.
damage to the
Yeah,
turret.
and the traverse motor is it.
Yeah.
Okay. Just strap into a regular chair then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And secure the
Sounds good.
prisoners in one of the staterooms, right? Or
Right.
because Ludmila gets one, we get 2 each, and we just cram all 3 prisoners in the other one, unless we want. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll lock him in the staterooms
Yeah.
Dude, they're
for
restrained
takeoff.
and they're gagged with duct tape. They're not gonna be talking.
Okay, cool. So this is what, 6 or an 8?
It's an 8.
And that is a 12 with the help of the boon. 12 on the dice plus 1 is 13. Effect is 5.
The ship takes no additional damage.
Yes.
Dragging against the rock. There's the kind of just the barest sound of nails on chalkboard, hearing the hull scrape against the rock face.
That's a relief.
And you know, it could have been a lot worse.
That's good.
And you know, you could have suddenly accelerated. You know, the strap could have broke, and you know, you were shot off in the air raft.
Yeah.
Suffice it to say, and
All right,
question,
we got it.
Yeah. So now Samuel, you are over kind of the open sand of the desert, which may be pretty soft. So the ship is kind of hovering, and it's in good, you know, like it's kind of just maintaining a constant altitude of about 3 meters, and so it's kicking up a lot of dust.
Okay, Javier, get back on board. You know, we need to.
Well, get back on board as soon as we can. Secure
ahead and drop
the
that
towing gear. Secure the air raft on the hangar, and
Yeah, so you can let
assuming
go.
I can do all of that. So
of that.
You can. I mean, it's just I mean, it's a blizzard of spores
particles and everything. Yeah.
got my mask on, so you know, my goggles and my environment suit, so I should be the operative word, should be fine. So
all right, you guys help him strap that down up and get the hell out of
get
here.
back to the bridge as soon as I can.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, the ship is flying.
Yeah.
The board is green-ish, except for that red light associated with the turret.
Greenish. It's sort of a
all right. We need to get on sensors or something, you know, especially heading back out. If there's a shuttle out there, especially, we ain't got no defensive turret or anything operative right now.
Well, we just got to get to orbit and push it. You know, if we're just getting out of here, we just do full burn to the 100 diameter limit so that we can jump out, right? But
exactly,
you know, nothing fancy. Just keep accelerating. By the time they realize we're gone, hopefully we'll have enough of a lead that even if they pursue.
Okay.
That's all I can think of. Unless you want to try a slingshot around the planet or something, but I don't know if that's
Doesn't that put us in time travel?
It might.
Sorry.
I don't know.
I saw that in a movie once.
I apologize.
So in a couple of movies, but yeah.
He slipped out on the gravity well. All right, we'll push it out and hopefully have no contact with the shuttle if there is one or another ship.
So it's a normal ascent to orbit. Then I take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, what I mean by that is this, as opposed to like a more ICBM, closer to the nap of the Earth style.
Yeah, like cresting it, like.
Well, I mean,
we might want to get some distance and then climb.
Yeah, away
so
from.
as to not
but
be seen.
but not at hypersonic velocities is because
oh no, we could.
Yeah, that's okay. So the only question is whether Samuel is feeling like testing himself.
No, heck no.
No.
So that yes, that's you have a good feeling that this ship could not and does not have any kind of stabilization assistance to for hypersonic flight in low atmosphere. And as banged up as the hull is, I'm not sure it would thermally manage it either. Suffice it to say, so you go over the horizon significantly from where you are now, perhaps a few hundred miles, and are up into orbital space, and okay, you're headed for jump.
Nice. Okay.
This is a question of you may want to make a sensors roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course we do. I got sensors 1.
Roll with it.
Yeah.
It's average.
That's only a 5. So.
Okay.
Oh wait, with education is +2, and 4 is 6.
Okay.
Is that yeah, 6?
This is what I can tell you.
Okay. It's all clear. Yeah, I know.
Broken. You reached escape velocity, so you're hyperbolic from Faldor itself, and it headed for jump. When there are two, there's the board lights up. There's 2 contacts. There's 2 missiles.
Oh no, not good at all.
All right.
Let's get this space combat book out. Oh dear.
Does this thing have chaff?
Well, you talking about the sand? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We do
for
actually have
lasers.
chaff. Okay.
The turret at the moment is equipped with 2 lasers.
And
it's not working.
And it's not working. Yeah.
And it's not working in any case. So
that's what I'm saying, dude.
So just get us the hell out of here.
Evasive maneuvers. Good God. Can we get?
This might be a real short campaign, boys and girls.
Can we get a sensor on just what's chasing us down as far as these
missiles?
Missiles.
Yeah.
Missiles.
Boom booms.
Yeah.
Oh no. So combat maneuvering, evasive action.
Yes.
But we do not have remaining thrust because we are burning hard at 2G.
You have contact. You make contact. I mean, in time that you could scale back your
thrust and then just okay.
Yeah, drop that grab car out the back.
That's your chaff. The grab car at the back.
Exactly.
Well, we got to start the engine first.
I don't know, man.
So that would be a
Tesla did it.
Last time we were pushing things out of the rear cargo hold. It didn't go so.
To spoof the drive's emissions, you would have to cannibalize some of the electronics from the ship, at least, to make a decoy out of one of the grab cars. And and it would be is that called formidable? The difficulty 10 to do it with to have any
Yes.
confidence it would work.
Okay, about how much distance we got closing between us? Time left.
Well, the missiles thrust at 6 Gs, and they are working on it.
Man.
All right. So
The missiles are at long range.
okay.
So you can see them coming up from over the limb of the planet. Probably from close to where you took off.
So I could try to use the sensors to jam their signals because we do have military grade jammers on our sensors. Which reminds me to check, does the fact that they're military give us an extra bonus? I think it just gives us the sensors.
EMP
Well, there are rules for trying that, but I don't know what the page is because what I have is the booklet
Working
thing.
on it. Electronic warfare.
That's it.
Need to.
Difficult.
You make an opposed electronics comms checks against the sensor operator in the target spacecraft.
Oh, really?
So, which is to say that somebody must be directing the fire of the missiles, according to this. Countermeasures is the other thing. Combat involving missiles creates a very tense atmosphere. The target spacecraft will likely have detected the launches, and its crew will have several anxious minutes.
Yeah, check the next. Yeah, the next paragraph is electronic warfare.
Yeah.
You can use the electronics to destroy the missiles, but it's a difficult 10 plus electronic sensors check. 1 round modified by intelligence. I could try. And apparently you can try over several rounds.
Okay. So you can use the. Do you want to do the extra time +2?
Yes, yeah. This may be performed upon a salvo multiple times over several rounds, with the effects being cumulative. Huh.
Oh well, I mean that would be multiple against it to kind of damage the salvo. Yeah. I guess I'm asking, like, do you want to take longer to do one?
To improve
Yeah,
to
yeah,
lower the
because the
difficulty.
effect is how many missiles we eliminate, and it's 2, so we need a 12 on that roll, right? So yeah, we can. I'll take the extra time. Yeah, assuming that falls within the time window before they smack us, right?
Well, so they're at
Yeah.
long range, and
Mhm.
so it takes. If I understand the way that the combat the range categories works, so there's a thrust differential of 4 between the two of you, which means that there's 1, 2, and then it goes up to 12, and then so at 2 rounds they reach medium range, and then in the 3rd round they're halfway between medium and short, and the 4th round they're at short range, and so in the 5th round they will impact. So it's 5 rounds to impact.
So I basically have 4 rounds at 6 seconds each. Is 24 seconds. But if I bump it up to the
It's minutes. I think is the order of magnitude for space combat.
so I can't really bump it up. I have to.
But at least you got a bunch of rolls.
No, because I could bump it up 2 seconds, which is the next iteration, but it would be 1d6 times 10. So it could go as high as 60 seconds and we'll be dead in 24 seconds. So yeah, we're just gonna have to.
Well, hold on. What's I mean, I thought space combat rounds were 1 minute.
Oh, wait. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so what's the next click up from 1 minute?
It is 10 minutes. So it goes in increments of 10 minutes. So
okay, so then I mean there's only 5 rounds. So yeah.
Yeah, so if we
I think
do
you're
that,
better off
then
with 5 rolls. You have better
Yeah.
chance with 5 regular rolls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. At some point, we'll hopefully hit something. I have
Are
an
we
8
still
plus-
burning two thrust, or we want to keep one for
I
evasive
imagine
maneuvers?
I imagine the 2
You know-
thrusts until they are close.
at
Put
the
pedal
last
to
minute
the metal.
because you can calculate the distance, right? So at the last minute, you could sort of
Mhm.
throttle back and then attempt evasive maneuvers in the very last round, right?
Yeah,
That's
all right. Either if you guys want to at least maybe dump the car while we're doing that, or be at the ready to do that for Plan B.
I,
I mean, I don't know how
think that's a
effective,
great
but
idea.
I mean, I'm pretty good at making
it's
stuff
not. But
hit stuff in the cargo bay, so we got a shot.
yeah, we'll let you go out there and push. But yeah,
Okay.
Just
grabbing
fly
it strong,
this
man. If this
bird.
don't work, if this don't work,
Yeah.
we're kind of screwed.
Just fly this bird, Mr. Edmonds.
All right, we'll do it.
Okay. So here we go.
I'm not skilled.
It's intelligence and sensors. So I'm at a total of +1 to the check.
Okay.
So here we go.
So
Mhm.
what you're
White
trying to
knuckles.
do, I imagine, is that you've got the ship's laser communicator, and you're trying to convince the missile to acquire and go into 2A with your ship. And and from there you'll start talking to it.
Okay.
So there, and possibly there's also a matter of you could try and dazzle the missile's guidance system with either of the laser communicators, but possibly the other one is kind of preoccupied with dazzle. So there's a number of kind of tricks in the book when it comes to electronic warfare, but there's two sides to it. One is you're trying to overcome the guidance, and the other is trying to compromise the fire direction, the fire control.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got 5 attempts at this. Let's see how this goes. This is gonna be pretty bad.
Possibly 5 attempts. I mean, there's a possibility that
four.
they may lock you out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so here we go.
So Ivan's back
First
next week, yeah?
It's a 7
sounds
plus 1
like
is 8, so that's not gonna do it.
Sam's cussing and white knuckling that.
Second attempt is a 7, which is not gonna do it.
Fuck.
You guys better.
Fuck.
I know.
Fuck.
I'm
There's
burning
nothing
it
we
too.
can do. There's nothing we can do to like get a boon, right? It's like
There are, I mean, there are some options.
Milla
One of them
has-
is the possibility of making a decoy.
So that's what I'm saying. He told me to fly this sucker.
I mean, and you also remember that that very a very savvy computer that Ludmila has that is
that's what I was thinking. Her iPad
in
can
all
help
likelihood
us
has a
with the.
positronic brain in it. Yeah.
Oh, so I'll enlist the help of the positronic brain to see if we can sort of crack the missile guidance system. Yeah. Okay, so that gives me a boon, right? So here we go.
Yeah, Ludmila says, and I warn you that if you do this, the computer will reformat your the ship's drives after the encounters. I mean, after we're safe, you're gonna kind of be on your own when it comes to astrogation. I mean, like you're gonna be zeroed out when it comes to your astrogation data. Just so you know. And she unlocks the computer and says, "Here you go."
At least
She
we'll
keys
be
in.
alive.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Well,
Could
Well,
we
be-
use her? Could we use her pods as? Could we use her pods as decoys too, since they're already out there?
They're not between us though.
We're too far, I
Too
think.
far? Okay, that's fine.
Because
will
we're
it
not a couple
format-
hundred miles.
I mean, if we know where the missiles are being directed from, if they're being directed from the shuttle, we could try and get the pods to strike the shuttle.
Yeah, we'd have to scan that.
We'd
though,
have to
and
find
that's
that.
gonna
I mean,
take a roll.
I think Javier is probably a little busy right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, just do it, Javier.
Let's do it. We'll deal with everything else after we survive. If we
You guys
survive.
better be ready to dump. Going.
Oh, look at that. I didn't even roll the boon and I got a 10. Plus 1 is 11. So one of the missiles is knocked out.
Okay.
All right, one of them.
And our last check before imminent
Last
death.
check, boy.
Before
You better
imminent
strap in.
death.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm strapped
Jeff
in
is
from the beginning.
scrambling for a last piece of jerky.
Nope, it's 7 again. So
With
I
the
got
boon?
Fuck.
with the boon. Yeah, it's a 1, a 2, and a 4.
Yes.
So drop the 1, it's a 6, plus 1 is 7.
Oh.
I needed an 11 on that roll. So
And I have no thrust for
Yeah.
any kind of evasive maneuvers.
So
I mean,
no, but now
no,
you can throttle
yeah.
back and then just put
Yeah,
it
the
all
last
into
last
yeah.
round, you can put it all into dodging. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's discover how that works.
Gee whiz.
Let's discover how bad a missile impact is.
This is why humans do not belong in space.
Yes.
Dogfighting modifiers. No.
Oh well, at least character creation is fun.
Yeah.
Right?
I let's just learn. Let's just learn.
Let's take it one at a time. Yeah.
But I understand that everyone is going to remain aboard ship, and while Samuel throws the ship over in a barrel roll at the last minute
Right.
here. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all strapped in.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh dear.
We're like in the expanse with the mouthpiece protectors like the boxers, and
Oh man, this is not gonna be pretty.
evasive as pilot. Each point of unspent thrust will allow the spacecraft to dodge one attack. The attack suffers a negative DM equals to the pilot's skill, so it just gives a -1 to the DM.
Okay.
So it's basically a reaction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the gunnery roll for the missile. Okay.
Okay, I've got piloting at 1 and a -1 on my dexterity.
Yeah, but it's just a -1. Your piloting skill is 1, so that's the negative modifier to Antoine.
Okay. So today or now is the time where I find my mirror and I show the
You show the 2 on the dice.
Or the 12.
Or
Yeah,
the 12.
or the 12.
Yes, the
Yeah.
critical 12. I'm trying to be positive here.
Hey,
Oh no.
he already rolled them, right? So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So
Okay, so now I need to
oh no, it's too small in my screen. So I
double
can't
click.
see it. Oh, that's right. Double click.
5.
7.
5.
No, 7. It's a 7. -1 is 6.
Try to get a bunch of 40-year-olds.
Plus whatever he has.
Okay.
Yeah.
With that and said,
Mhm.
the missile detonates nearby.
Oof.
Uh-oh.
Oh man.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck!
It's
Fuck!
it's
Fuck!
it's
But we can.
you know how in the early part of the Cold War, the thought with the high altitude bombers was to just kind of blow up a tactical tactical nuke size weapon, sort of near depth charges in the air sort of deal.
Yeah.
This is what occurs.
Jim's camera blew up from the torpedo.
From the torpedo, yeah, it just took him out.
Okay. So I believe that
Okay, do I need to roll any piloting roll to offset maybe some of the
No,
damage?
you actually don't.
so I think so I just need to figure out what the damage is for a missile.
It's 4D.
4d6?
4D6, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll 6 die 6 and discard the 2 highest. Or I think let me see. Or we're lowering the damage is what I mean. We're making it worse.
So for
Oh, we'll re-roll the
4d6.
dice.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling 4d6 and then I'll re-roll any
Okay.
high dice. So there's a 4 and a 3 are the 2 high dice, and there's a 1 and a 2 are the other 2 dice.
Oh, nice.
So the re-rolls improve things slightly, and the ship takes 7.
7. So we are down to 15 points as alarm klaxons and stuff are going off,
Yeah.
from the near impact.
And everybody's thrown across just like in Star Trek.
Well, we're strapped to the chairs. We're strapped to the chairs.
That's what.
Get us the hell out of here!
Now I'm white knuckle, man. Good Lord.
Okay.
Tugboat operators on there.
Yeah, the only thing you can do is go Michael Bay and shake your webcam and just go like.
And it's at this instant or so, Samuel and Javier and everybody else, Ludmila's computer gives everything on the bridge a brain fart, blue screen of death.
Uh-oh.
Oh, jeez.
So we're screwed. So we're dead in space, or
No, I mean it's you restart to like a DOS prompt.
okay. So we do have the software
Well, the
thing
BIOS.
that we used before. We had the software to restore the. We have it. We have the equipment to restore it.
We have the technology.
You
Because
do.
it's what we used to rescue the ship originally, but we
Yeah.
need to get on it. So, Javier scrambles out of the chair, once the shaking stops, and just runs to go get the gear.
Okay. The reactor output is down by 5 because the computer is out.
Okay.
And so all the smart power rationing is kind of off too. So it kind of nets to a total of a power outage of 7.
Okay. So we're down 7 power output of our usual 60.
Well, and
So
the ship, and when you got it, when you left Walston, I think it was already out 8, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
So it's a total down of 11. So that means we're operating at 49 power, which still gives us enough to maneuver and sensors and.
We have the more people there.
So oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
thought-
it was.
I
All right.
always think it's just me. So it's
Yeah, I
like,
thought it
Me
was just me too. I did
Okay.
step down in internet service. So
Yeah.
This is the result from Ludmila's computer.
Yeah, exactly. It's Ludmila. The Ludmila virus has took us all down. So yeah.
All right. So there's no confidence. So the question is one of time, really.
I'd say
It's difficulty 10, like a hard, to kind of continue on course for what you believe was the jump point.
Mhm.
But you don't know because there's no Starfix, there's no software.
I'd say
So the question
regardless-
is, do you want to astrogate? Do you want to install software? What do you want to do?
Well, regardless of what we're doing, Javier
Mhm.
will tell Sam, just burn hard, as hard as you can, and get us out of here. It doesn't matter. Just keep moving. Don't
Yeah.
pick a
stop.
direction.
So,
Okay.
Let's
yeah.
start on the right.
So,
Okay.
best guess, just keep moving. So while I then start the software, because we need software to do the astrogation, right? It's not like I can do it manually on a calculator. So
You can.
really?
Yeah. That's what I mean, is that, I mean, like, that would be difficulty 10 to yeah.
Oh, so risk a jump. Hmm.
Yeah, we could fall out of jump early. Maybe you could astrogate on her computer. If we
You
disconnect.
could. But then you have to manually enter. So that would be a normal jump, but with a Bane. Because you'd have to transfer all the data over.
Bane is really bad. Really, really bad, because it'll drop your
Yeah, I'm
highest
just nervous
dice,
about him
so-
sending more
Yeah,
missiles.
yeah. No. I'm trying to figure out the quickest way to get us out of here. We still have to do so it all depends on how much time we have before we hit.
If I can set this, the
So you can
autopilot.
and I should also say, like, you can visually pick out Faldor, the star, and that planet that you flew by, and the outer companion planet.
Okay,
As far as like things.
Yeah.
I think that now's the time, while you're doing the calculating, for Ludmila to try and send her things against their ship,
Mhm.
or would you have to
Oh,
do the
that's
sensors
nice.
too?
Yeah.
So do I need to?
Does she
Oh.
still have communication with her pods and stuff
I mean,
like that?
yeah, but I mean, they don't have guidance as missiles.
Okay.
So it would be a matter of like, you could try and have them strike the shuttle, like, or whatever was directing the missiles, but you'd have to acquire.
Yeah.
So
we
have
still
to-
need to reboot the computer, is what I'm saying. Or
Yeah, I mean, you can. I don't know. I wish we could turn that one missile around and send it back to him. But
because the sensors are out as well, right? The sensors are.
yeah,
Well,
everything's.
I mean, there's no emissions profiling.
Okay.
So you can unplug like all the individual sensors, and they'll all work like Cold War era technology.
Gotcha.
LiDAR, because we have LiDAR and radar, so we can make
Yep.
any of this work. At least we can get a fix. Would Javier know if just getting a fix with the sensors is enough to attempt this attack? Because if it is, it's probably worth just doing that first, and then doing the other things.
If you can precisely position if you can acquire the shuttle, then yes.
So let's try it. Sure, why not?
Okay.
All right.
At this range, I mean, the only hope is with active sensors.
Yeah, I mean, they shot at us, so we'll they know where we are, so
Okay.
We'll try to locate them, right? Soon as the LiDAR reboots or something.
Well, I mean, it can function independently. I mean, it's just an 8, but then there's a Bane, because there's just no.
Okay, so it's
emissions
a
profiling
Bane.
for the software. Yeah.
Okay, and what's my difficulty here?
Average 8.
Okay, so this is this would be education or intelligence. Sensor lock, sensor operation, sensors check. Doesn't say what modifies sensor.
I imagine that this is education in this situation, because you got to pay attention in college if you expect to make sense of how to use this without theory.
all the usual software. Okay.
Yeah.
So that gives me a +2, but there's a Bane on this die. So I roll. Oh, geez, this goes. My 6 goes away. So I'm left with a 6 + 2 is an 8.
Which is to say, they're okay. I mean, the shuttle is it's just matching thrust with you.
Okay.
It's just keeping distance. It's at extreme range. It's just about to go hyperbolic on Faldor. It hasn't reached escape velocity yet,
Mm-hmm.
but they are thrusting.
So, Ludmilla, I think I have a lock on that shuttle. It's trying to match velocities with us, and this is its position. And I show her the data on the,
There's a chance. I can slave them to the fire control computer, Colonel, if you want to try and.
Sure.
I mean, try your hand at it.
nice.
Or whoever knows how to operate missile. I mean, it's a gunnery thing.
I got gunnery.
Yeah, I mean, she looks around at anybody.
Anybody else?
Anyone
Right.
Bueller?
Bueller. I have one gunner. What do you have?
Exactly the same.
Okay.
So you take it. Yeah.
Yeah,
you
you
can
have
visit
you have
yourself
other work to do.
elsewhere.
Yeah.
All right. Over the course of the next 10 minutes or so, what do y'all pursue?
So Javier wants to get a triangulation check, like using, I guess conventional astrogation, just to get us pointed in the right direction. And then I'll start working on rebooting the software, I think is what I want to do.
Okay.
But there's no hurry with that. I just wanted to get out of the way to get to you guys.
Okay. So,
Actually, there's a lot of hurry with that.
Yeah, but
So-
it's
Roy, the gunnery roll. I mean, you're kind of just looking through a very grainy camera feed from the pods, and you're trying to just follow them. You can see their drive plume. You are behind them as you're
Okay.
following, but it is a straight gunnery.
Straight, no bane on it.
No,
Wow.
Yeah.
So +2. Yeah, no, that's a total of 6.
okay. You run out of fuel.
oh no.
Okay.
God damn it.
Would have
Okay.
had him. We ran out of fuel. Okay.
The computers, the base time to do the work with the computer is an hour.
Okay. I think Sam can help me with that because he sets, whatever course we're on, he just put the throttle
That's what I
on
mean. Can
and
I-
he can go help me with
The computer's down. I can try to help you, I guess, if it's
Yeah,
okay for me to jump
because you're
off
not doing
the
active
bridge.
piloting. You're just, floored into the pedal and then come help me.
Okay. So all this is supposed to you're supposed to normally shut down Windows while you reinstall it.
Yeah.
So it is average. It should be still easier than that, but you have a boon.
All right. The computer's a 1, so I'll give you a boon.
Okay. So you have, it's a computer's check?
With intelligence.
And you have a 1, so you take it, Adele. I'll give you the boon.
All right, sounds groovy to me. I roll my.
Oh
I'm glad you gave me
no.
that boon, man. I'm glad because that was a 1. I got 10.
Okay. Yes.
Oh,
6.
thank God.
Wouldn't have been for that boon.
I hesitated there for a moment. Do I give it to Dell? He's got
I know,
the dice.
I know.
He's
I
been
dug out
rolling
all
good
my
today.
D6.
So
I dug out all my
how did that
D6.
go?
It was 10.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse
All right.
There's no negatives on it. Intellect's 9. So.
So an hour later, you're about 10 degrees off of where you should be for a good jump out. What's the jump destination?
Hang on. I shut it down. I had it. We talked about going directly to 567908. because that's as far as we can get, just one jump sector. And we need to refuel there.
Yes.
So I think that's our best bet.
There's a spaceport there.
There is only a frontier spaceport, but there is water and there is a water planet, so we can refuel from that.
I mean, their scoops ain't screwed up, are they? Filled
Because
with
this
fog
is the layover spot that we and this
where
ship
we
is
were
equipped.
before, right?
Yeah, this is the one when we were going over to Walston. We did a layover in 567908.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we're going to do the same thing, right? We already
All
know
right.
where the planet is and everything, so we just do the same procedure. It's the best we can hope for. So
All right, Astrogate. However long that takes.
okay. So astrogation. Hang on. Where's my astrogation?
Base difficulty is going to go up to 6
Okay.
because the clock is off.
Yeah.
So you reset, and so you not you don't know exactly whether all the timing from before is is accurate. You don't know what time it is exactly, because I mean even the time signal from the satellite that's in orbit, I mean, you don't know where it was before, so the relativistic distortion of when you're getting it and so on,
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it's a 6 difficulty, and I have a -1 penalty because we're jumping 1 light year.
Mhm.
So, but I also have
1 parsec, right?
Hang on. Yeah, I also have a 1 in astrogation and 1 in education. So it's +2, -1 is 1. So I'm rolling 2 dice +1, and I need a 6. 2 dice +1, and I need a 6, and that is a 7 + 1 is 8.
Okay. So the effect is 2.
Is 2. So the effect goes over to the jump check, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And so we shuffle the power to where is the jump sequence?
Everybody, I'm turning off all the.
Yeah, I don't have the jump. I don't have the. Do you have the reference for the jump rules at hand, Antoine? Because I don't.
Spacecraft operations.
Jump travel, preparing for jump. Here we go. Jump is an easy engineering J drive check modified by the effect. So we said the effect was 2. And
so it is a 60. It is a 6.
So the difficulty is a 6. You said? Okay.
I mean, if it's easy, yeah.
It says
No,
easy
it says
4
easy
plus.
4. So
okay.
Okay. So I have a +2 from the effect. I have a 2 for my jump drive engineering. I have 1 for my education, so I'm at +5. And that's it at +5. So here we go. It's a good thing it's at +5 because I rolled E2.
Wow.
+5 is 7. So that's an effect of 3.
Nice.
Actually, yeah, the jump drive was always down anyway by 2. So that is an effect of 1. I think we got it. I got it right on the
All right.
on the dot.
Exit. You exit jump space 2 hours early, and at 140 diameters, from 867. 530.
Okay. We will
But it will be a
name the
week.
system.
It'll be a week, right?
140 diameters. Yeah. Okay, away.
So if we can heal up any damage.
Nice.
I think, I mean, it's so you just roll a die, and you modify by your current endurance modifier
Yeah.
for each day.
For
So-
each day. Yeah.
So as soon as we're in the pocket dimension, Roy looks over at Jeff and says, "See, same as in the service. Move fast, strike hard, enforce the Emperor's will. Everything turns out just fine."
Okay. How are Ludmilla and our guys coming around?
Your
Flat
guests are okay. Ludmila is improving. And
Thinking
yeah,
maybe her
she's more or
computer-
less fully recovered by day 3 in jump.
If she can interrogate these guys on the way out, the one that needed surgery with her computer, if the good doctor could patch him up a little bit
The what?
where he's cognitively.
No, the one who needed surgery is dead.
Yeah, I
He
think the
died.
one who needed surgery doesn't need surgery.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Not
He's
anymore.
dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
No
He's
more.
like literally.
Okay, I remember.
I tried to get him first aid, and look, he's dead, Jim.
Exactly. So
All right.
Okay. So Ludmila is once she's feeling well enough, is fine. You find her to be very unavailable, because she ends up in a debriefing, and whatever is going on is pretty secretive, as far as whatever techniques she's using. So she ends up giving up her cabin, and putting the mark in her cabin.
okay.
And she seals the cabin, and she spends a lot of time on her computer, doing something while the mark is sealed in her cabin.
Oh, geez. Okay.
That's yeah. If anybody's inquisitive about that, she's
Now, as long as she deposits those credits in our account.
she gives somebody a surly look if you look over her shoulder while she's doing this.
We knew what we were getting into in the first place. So.
Yeah. She's preoccupied with whatever is going on in her computer. And then she goes back in about 2 hours later, and she puts the mark back in, and puts him back under sedation.
Okay.
So that's maybe a good stop.
Yeah.
stopping point?
So
Yeah. Midnight.
she's able to write you a promissory note, which is lodged in the ship's computer, for the payment. She ends up she would prefer to stay at the starport, and she actually asks you to drive her and the prisoners to a safe house at the starport.
She
This
wants
is-
to keep all of them.
This is on
No,
Flammarion, so we're skipping
No,
forward to Flammarion,
no,
or on
no,
867.
No, she wants to
no,
stay in Jenny.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Jenny.
Yeah.
Jenny system. That's it. Yeah.
And so I think we will resume at the starport of 867.
Mhm.
309.
Okay.
But yeah, she's got a check, which is transferable. It's redeemable at Flammarion.
Excellent.
But it is, she writes you a check for the remainder of your balance.
Awesome.
Cool.
Jeez. Okay.
And I will be able to give a full accounting of what was in the draft.
Perfect.
And I'll deal with the numbers for the expenses and whatnot, and start. Well, we don't know what's going to happen when we get to Flammarion. Maybe we're going to pass this off as damage that the ship already had. So,
Right. Right.
so we're going to
geez.
charge it
Yeah, 'cause,
all to the Imperial Scout Service.
Those
Yes, we will.
bastards who own this ship really did a number on.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
Well,
And of
yeah.
course, if we're not if we don't say the goodbyes to them officially, Roy would of course say something idiotic like, Pleasure working for you, ma'am. You have my number.
Likewise to you, Colonel. And I appreciate you taking some aspects of this operation in confidence.
Yes, ma'am.
Perhaps we will meet again.
Outstanding.
Perhaps we will. Nice. Excellent. We
This
survived
was
that somehow.
awesome.
Yeah,
This was
that
awesome.
was-
It was.
You were like, miss, everyone a miss. Oh, crap.
But I
This was
got one
awesome.
missile. It was
I
like I
know.
need a 10, and it's one missile. That was good enough. It was like
Oh,
awesome.
I know, man. Because if it